Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians cast, episode 767, The Husbands of River Song, Part 4. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Gloria. What's up, Gloria?
Woo! Hey! Hello, everybody.
Hi, Gloria.
Yeah, I felt like it was of this episode because I actually saw it on Christmas, and I saw it 3 times since. But I had family over, so I was like, distracted, not able to focus on wanting to get online and all that stuff. So here we are, finally get to talk about it. Oh my goodness! First of all, I want to say it was awesome, so funny. I love River and 12's chemistry. It was adorable, especially after she found out who he was. But also before, when they were laughing in the snow, over the threatening bag.
Yep.
It was cute. Also love how because of her laughing with him, he thought she knew. He's like, don't you? And she's like, she didn't. And so he's like, it was so funny. And I guess that means like he obviously would laugh with her as 11. And so that's why he thought she knew, because they were having the same kind of banter, laughing together and stuff. So I guess I thought that was kind of cool. The little, hint there about that.
Right.
The wallet with all his pictures, his faces, it was quite cute. I love how she even has the picture of the War Doctor included. It shows how much cool. Shows how she knows the Doctor. It also shows that she indeed thinks that he was dead because it stopped at 11. She wasn't looking for, the damsel in distress. She wasn't looking for any after 11, so it's like, obviously she was just focusing on the old faces, all the first generation cycle. Now the whole beginning part upset me. I felt like River was off a little. It didn't feel right. It made me feel like I felt bad for the Doctor. I was on his side. I was like, River, come on, step out of it. Doctor is the only one, your true love, except, and all that. And then she's like putting on, I thought she was like putting on an act. I felt like the Doctor did. Like she must know who he was, and she's just acting, that she loved this like idiot. I call him an idiot. I don't like that real lot. I squealed at his jealousy because I thought it was cute. It was a plus in that situation. It reminded me of how the 11th Doctor was kind of jealous over Father Octavian during the time of the Angels, and how he was thinking they were together, and it was kind of cute. But this was even more so because he's like, oh, when she was kissing Ramon even. And he was like, what about that's all your husband? Because he's thinking she would mention him. I thought that was kind of cute. The diary, oh my gosh, them at the restaurant with the diary, that whole part. She did seem more like she was like sad and unable to hide it a little, because the Doctor kind of knew she was upset. But she did try to hide it. Obviously, she was like trying to make it seem like he wasn't as important as she, really feels. I guess because she didn't know it was him for one thing, so she's going to be defensive, not the personal stuff with a stranger. But I was like, oh come on, she's got, so that was like no. So I was like, come on. I can understand she's being emotional, wanting to protect emotional protection, and having walls up and everything. But even the Doctor knew she was upset, and like they had that back and forth, and she could have told him. He could see that she was sad, and of course it was clear to us too. Then there was the River talk that was, the speech she made. I was crying. I was a crying mess. Couldn't believe she was saying this. And I mean, I guess this was Stephen Moffat's trying to hint at that River feels this way because the 11th Doctor wasn't her Doctor. But I think it was also partly that, but also part of it that it had to just be her trying to be stronger emotionally and pretending her relationship with him wasn't as special as it was, and wouldn't hurt her as much that he's gone and everything. Hence why she said what she said during the diary scene and the speech. She even told the Doctor afterwards, after she learned, he was like, he said that, and then she's like, I was just saying saying these things to keep them talking until it kicks off, meaning the meteor. So maybe she knew, but not knew that he was, but that she was just trying to get them to. And that thing actually could believe her. I guess she's such a good liar that even the machine thought she was telling the truth or whatever. I don't know. And yeah, partly, probably she felt that way. But I also think that I like that that really deep down she must know, and that she knows him well enough to know he does, but that does because her pain. She thinks he's dead, so she tries to convince herself that she doesn't, or he doesn't, and that it was probably upset by it and proves that, and he was probably upset by it and proved her wrong, and boy does he. He corrected her belief when he said, "Hello, sweetie." Now this is what I was like freaking out over. She's the one who always says, "Hello, sweetie," right, to the doctor, whom she loves, right? So now the doctor saying it back to her shows that he loves her as well. So along with, and also, cleverly revealing to her that he is the doctor. Of course, it stopped her from saying what she was saying, and it was brilliant. I love that whole part. I was like, "Yes, doctor." I think that was the moment that Peter Capaldi he totally grew on my loving list. He was like. Below Tennant. It was Matt and then Tennant. Capaldi was like fourth. I think he's equal with the Eighth Doctor now. But yeah, I also love the moment when he said, he said not one person on this ship or anyone living thing is worth losing her or something like that. I squealed like crazy during that. I thought it was so cute.
I think what's interesting is that it was true that he didn't love her until he became that incarnation. Because what's happening is he tells her, "Hello, sweetie."
It was growing, but as 12, it was officially there. It was growing, but it wasn't to the extent that she would think it. Like it is, like with 12. Obviously, he does as 12 because of the way you could tell.
Well, the funny thing is that because they're going to spend 24 years together.
Yes, I love that.
The last day, I believe, or in the end, he tells her his name. Because that incarnate, he is going to be with her for 24 years up with the Singing Towers as a married couple. And he's going to tell her he loves him, like he loves her. And he's going to tell her his real name. And then then he's going to leave. And that's because again, he didn't tell her his name because he will tell her before she leaves.
Yeah. Again, about the doctor's policy, it also proves
the only time he would ever tell anybody his real name is if he loved them, and that's what happens. He does love her.
Yeah.
In the end.
Also, him being jealous is also proof that they were indeed married because the doctor knows they are, and he acknowledges it again. So it's like, come on. And by wondering why she isn't mentioning the doctor being her husband, because he is, the whole thing with Hydroflex was like a thought.
Well, I think it was because it was a traumatic experience because of Angels Take Manhattan, and she was basically done, and she was distancing herself away from the doctor and everything. That the fact that she was his wife, she saw that she wasn't his wife. Because don't forget, the River Song from Name of the Doctor is after the Silence of the Library, when she's already in the library. So that doesn't happen, and that's not part of the journal.
I have something I want to discuss with you about the whole thing with her in the library.
Well, they showed the clip today. They showed the clip today that they pieced together. If you saw it, where they had the whole Silence, the Forest of the Dead clip where she's about to die, and they show every time she mentioned something, they showed Peter Capaldi's doctor. And that thing mixed in, and I thought that was fantastic.
I liked it, yeah. Now Ramon, the thing with Ramon, I think it was her trying to move on. Like you said, she like distanced herself, thought of him.
Well, River lies. River lies. So when he says, "I don't know, we got married," she lies, just like she said she had a wife too. So I think she's just flirting around. But I think that she didn't have anybody, and she wasn't really with anybody. I think that she was, and I don't think she knew it was him either.
Yeah, she was flirtatious. That's all.
She knows the doctor was around there. She knows the doctor was.
Huh?
She knows the doctor was around there, but she thought it was probably the 11th. She wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And
Like,
also, too,
12, yeah.
but also, too, she don't know the order of, see, the thing I find interesting, which I don't think anybody got, was the fact that she encountered David Tennant before, and the biggest evidence is she has a picture of his face, and she didn't even get to the library yet. So she's going to have an adventure with David Tennant possibly, because when she saw him, she recognized him. So it's quite possible that there's a secret.
It all goes with what we were saying, that he's the one that probably that he probably took her to the well, someone said
maybe not, because the thing is, it's possible that she just got, because she had no way of knowing the war doctor, so maybe she just got a picture of David Tennant, but from the from wherever. But she never. The thing is, another thing that we didn't really talk about is that the Diary of River Song audios show her with the 8th Doctor. Now, supposedly she can't. She knows that it's before her doctor, and that she can't call herself River Song, and she can't affect the timeline, because then she'll prevent herself from meeting him. So, in that audio adventure, I didn't listen to it yet, but like, I don't know what she's going to be called, but it's going to be an interesting thing.
Yeah, I love how she mentions the rumors of all the past wives and stuff, and he mentions hers, and it's like they were like, it was showing that they were both jealous.
Well, I don't like that Moffat keeps doing that, because Moffat said it like Clara made Clara say it, and it's like he keeps repeating his own stuff, like nobody's talking about his other wives other than Clara to the Cybermen, and like they keep repeating it, and it's like, well, I as far as I'm concerned, I don't count the Marilyn Monroe thing, and I really don't count the the Queen thing. That was like the marriage has
just for,
I don't know.
She hates him because he leaves her. He marries her and runs.
So only marriage I can count is the one that we never seen with the first Doctor with whatever. I mean, I don't count. I mean, River I counted, even though it was in the Tesselector, but
because he had control over the Tesselector. So if he really didn't want to,
right, it's like I said, the thing about the Doctor marrying somebody while he's in his car, and they were right outside the car. It was a joke.
Exactly. Like pull up like at Las Vegas pull up, like drive-through weddings.
So what do you rate this?
The last scene. I gotta just talk about my favorite scene.
You keep talking.
It was perfectly beautiful. I love how they touched on all the details, like you mentioned. Of course, the suit, the doctor crying, the sonic screwdriver. It was sad, and he didn't really want to take her this time either, but ended up taking her because she kept, he tried to get her into the TARDIS, and then she's like, "Oh no, you don't," and she go, and he's like, "No," so she ended up having to go. She was determined, so he took her. She said he kept changing his mind the last minute, so that means the mini-sode is still canon. It just means that 11 changed his mind when he walked out of the door.
And I said that he probably did take her, and I'm pretty sure he didn't take her, because I even said years ago that, again, years ago I said there was going to be a Christmas special where it was going to be the Singing Towers. I had predicted that. And I do have people that are coming, new members, new subscribers that are watching my videos now for the first time. And the only thing I can say about that is I really appreciate it. But just keep in mind that there's a date on the video. So I'm getting comments from videos from like 2011, 2012. So the video you're watching may be way outdated. So just keep that in mind when you're watching the video. And then, of course, updates follow. But I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. But the River Song thing, unfortunately, this is probably going to be the last River Song appearance.
The talk with her that her and the doctor had at Singing Towers could have given her enough clues, hints that maybe she realizes that she might die. So maybe she the wishful thinking kind of way of loophole or somehow how to survive or how to find her way out of the library or whatever.
Or she gets out of the library according to the canon of the audios.
Yeah.
So I believe.
How does she get out of it though? So maybe that's like kind of, you know, how she, because they it's weird that at the library she says it the way she says it. He's like, he wouldn't tell her why. I mean, he did, but there was enough dialogue in there to kind of give her hint that might be, you know, it might be that. And then she would have known also
well, she had no clue when Silence of the Library began. She had no clue that that was a final adventure.
Yeah.
Because when her last speech with Tennant, she was like, "You knew this whole time," you know. So.
Yeah. Because she's remembering that what 12 said, or like, you know.
Right.
Also, that must mean that in Name of the Doctor, she knew that Translore wasn't going to be as bad as the Doctor thought. You know, she must have had to act like.
I don't think so with that, because I think that she had the data bank from the library that was where he dies. But because she really thought that he dies there.
Yeah.
Like, and again, keep in mind too that
she knows that something happens and makes him get another face, but she doesn't know what it was because.
Well, I don't even know. See, the thing is, I don't even know if she knows it as that, because here's the thing, right? She doesn't know that David Tennant had used one to keep himself the way it is. So technically, 12 regenerations equals 13 doctors. So that would be Peter Capaldi would be the 13th Doctor in theory, and then they would, you know what I'm saying? So that's the whole thing, that he would get new generations. If everything happened the original way, there'd be 13 Doctors, and then he would get a new life cycle, and the 14th would be the first of a new cycle. But because Tennant wasted a regeneration, and then the War Doctor counts as, you know, an incarnation, but again, she just sees 12 faces. Technically there's 13, there would be 13. So she thinks that he's done. She thinks that he dies to Translore. She doesn't know the order of the faces, I believe. You know what I'm saying? She just knows the faces, but I don't know if she knows. See, because again, she wasn't sure. See, that the thing that's misleading about the pictures of all the faces, they had it in order, but when she met him in Silence of the Library, she didn't know that David Tennant's face was 10. Like, she knew that he was the Doctor, but she didn't know the order of the faces. So that was kind of like
that was the only thing that bugged me about.
That was kind of a plot hole, I guess, to keep it in order like that, because she really didn't know that. You know, but anyway. All right, so
also, the 24 years, Joe. Oh my gosh, it makes me wonder. Like, were they having to be stuck there, kind of like how he was on Translore?
I think he willingly took a break and stood it with her for 24 years, and then when the date, because it was a night that lasted 24 years, right? So when it was over, he went back with the TARDIS, and she went where she had to go.
There, and that was their home. I love the thought of that. So cute.
Well, again, they developed. They stood together. They were married, and he told her he loved her because that's how she remembers his name. Because he
probably even had another wedding ceremony, whether we don't know of. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he tells her his name before he leaves, before she leaves. So obviously, 24 years, they must have been madly in love as a married couple, and that's why she had a lot of good memories, because she was with 12 the most, because she was with him for 24 years. That's why he's her doctor, because he spent the marriage with her for 24 years.
And I love the whole, and they both lived happily ever after, because it was a nice touch, like Rivers' dog. You know, the doctor's love, and it was like a beautiful little appropriate touch to their life.
So now when we come back in series 10, he shouldn't have anything to do with Clara being upset. He should be upset with River, not Clara, because he just left River for 24 years. He was with her, so he should be heartbroken and upset about that. It should be anything to do with Clara when series 10.
The next time we see the Doctor, he's going to be moody again, probably. I don't know.
If he is sad in any way, it has to be because of River, because he just spent 24 years with her. It can't be anything to do with Clara, because he doesn't remember her.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah.
So it can't, technically, if Moffat does it where he said about Clara, it wouldn't make sense, because it would be in Moffat's mind, but not the Doctor's mind, because the Doctor was 24 years with River. So it's not going to be with River for 24 years. He's going to go back and talk some upset about Clara again. That's over. The reason why I don't give it a perfect 10, a few things. One of the main reasons is I was really pissed off that they reused Face the Raven set. And I thought that was very disrespectful for a Christmas episode where Clara died to reuse that set and just try to fancy it up for Christmas. I thought that was that pissed me off beyond belief.
Like the same street.
It drops it a whole point just for that. I mean, honestly, I really felt that's laziness. Okay, that's disrespectful. She died in that street. Don't. I know what that street looks like. That's the Face the Raven street. All you have to do is look at it. Give me a break.
It also kind of reminds me of the street that where she met. Well, where the Victorian Clara met him too. On the where the.
I have to go back and watch the snowman. Yeah, but I don't know. But that's the whole thing. So, and I didn't like the beginning, like you said, where she was nasty with him. I was kind of turned off by that, but I understood it when I saw it a couple of times. So I give it annoying stuff.
I didn't like it at first, but as I rewatched it, I could kind of understand why she acted.
My rating stays at annoying right now.
And then, of course, I could also now understand River's line and when she sacrificed herself in the Forest of the Dead a lot more, like what that was. It's like a very long night. And then I love that River gave the doctor something he had always wanted to do. He got to pretend to react to the bigger on the inside.
That was pretty cool. I like that.
Awesome. I was like, that is hilarious.
That was hysterical when he did that. He's like, it's my turn. Yeah.
Artist again, and she was talking to her, saying, "What's wrong with you?" And
I like the part. One of my favorite parts too, is when she said, "Oh, I've stolen the TARDIS before. All I have to do is come back." And he's like, he's thinking, he's like, well, how do you know it doesn't work now? Like, how do you know he didn't put safeguards on it now? It's like, and then he saw the booze in it.
I like when she's like, when he's figuring out why it's not going, and she's like, "You are very quick," and he's like, "Yes, for a doctor," and she's like, "Yes," and he's like, "Seriously?" It was hilarious. And then I also love the line, "You are so doing those roots." When she realized it was him, and she's like, "You were so doing those roots." I mean, the roots.
I know. She's gonna dye his hair, right, or something like that. Is that what she said?
The line again, where
he's gonna do his roots.
Yeah. But I also like the line, "River, not one person on this ship, not one living thing is worth you." And then she's like, "Or you."
Right.
And because you know me, Joe, you know that the whole Singing Towers scene had me become a waterfall, especially the I hate
absolutely.
You.
Listen, I've been dying for this, and it fits so well with, me, when anything is explained 100% and we got finality about the whole thing, I'm so happy that they finished the story complete, because I mean, why can't we have that with other episodes? So that's what I was
dreading it, but at the same time, part of the reason why I was dreading it is because I was worried about how they were going to do it.
I was perfect the way they ended it. Perfect.
We had so much expectation about how it was going to be, and it lived up to my expectation. It was beautiful.
It definitely lived up to my expectations. The beginning was kind of blah, but it was kind of slow. But I was happy with the resolution. No complaints.
Yeah, I love that the last words were, "I hate you." No, you don't. Oh!
Yeah.
So many feels. I'm telling you, I was like, I had so many feels, and I was a ball of emotions for the rest of the evening. Seriously was. But I love how that last look, they were looking at each other, right? The last little shot before it said, and they both looked happily ever after. I like how they were looking at each other. I was like, "Oh, that's such a good picture." I'm gonna like print that out and make it like my, I don't know, like a mouth or something, because I love it. And then of course afterwards.
What did you rate it, Gloria?
So overall, the whole story, I'm going to give it a 9, but just that scene, the whole Singing Tower scene, a 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. The whole last 15-20 minutes is like a 10.
Yes. It's like, oh man, I'm telling you. they are so cute together.
They are. And unfortunately now we got to wait a long time for Doctor again.
When we get to see the Doctor again.
I know.
Oh, we're on withdrawal.
I know. All right. On that note, thank you guys for watching. Take care. Bye for now.